The enemy has started to make their move, taking one planet after another, yet they haven't started drawing much attention to themselves. That will change soon, though, and the crew know that only time will tell what the enemy's plan is. Now that they have gathered the main things that they need to end this, it's time to start putting the pieces together and assessing the situation, to find out how to save the universe and make sure there's still a universe left when the fight's over. In this next chapter, we delve back into the past, into memories of what was before, and what it might mean for the future.
What do you think triggers my flashback?
Maybe you are going through some of the things that Helena has in the storage, and you find she's been trying to recover as much as she can of the ship and what that you were able to learn the first time. It's not been a whole lot, but some of it she had on her. So you see this older device that would have like training simulations in it, and it includes these simulations that were used to like teach you how to like fly the ship. And I imagine the ship also had a shuttle. And why did Daxton want so badly to learn how to fly?
Oh, Daxton needed to prove themselves. Like, that was like a huge thing. Everyone, I think, knew that, they have a lot of knowledge and a lot of helpful things that they know, but zero experience at that point, at least within this realm of things. So Daxton was just absolutely desperate to prove that they're more than just a data bank of things.
So that's why you offered, and Helena was like, of course. You didn't ask her where she got the training simulations.
Absolutely.
As you're looking at it, I picture maybe Helena's walking by, or she's working on something in the same area. What has changed since we last saw Daxton and since we last saw Helena?
Can I add something real
Yes,
quick? Just a quick snap. When it's like, don't worry where these videos came from. Smash cut to Ram scraping the paint off of the canisters where the videos are recorded, and it says like proprietary government videos. And she's just humming, scraping all that evidence off.
Amazing.
Yeah, and we see seconds before Helena just like kind of sets a box next to you and just kind of walks off to go do other things. It was a busy day.
As Helena kind of like is, kind of like in the same space, you come across Daxton looking at whatever would be holding these, like the simulations and the recordings or whatever it might be, like just kind of like looking at it and thinking about those moments, and kind of just looks up and says, I was rather stupid then. And I know that is a very relative word when it comes to things of my nature, but I was so rash, which goes against everything I think I was made for.
Sounds like perhaps you have more humanity in you than you realize. I'm not going to go into some of the things I did when I was younger.
I know most of them. I've read your files.
You think you do. There's some things that got left out of the files. There's mostly little petty things of just me getting in trouble that my father covered up. But
as I said, most. Maybe not all.
I don't even remember most of them, to be honest. I've had other things on my mind.
Well, I definitely remember these. Those first few simulations, those first few trainings were terrifying, to say the least.
You did well, though.
Maybe in hindsight. In the moment, I don't think I knew at all what I was doing. I knew how to handle everything. I'd read the manual inside and out, but... well, there's something to be said for... feeling the personality of a craft. I don't think I ever really latched on to that.
The smartest person can spend their whole life studying what something will be like, and the second they face the actual experience, all that goes out the window. There's a difference between knowing it on a page and experiencing it in real life. As yes, it's scary. And you did it, and you were scared, and then you did it again, and you kept going, and you kept working on it.
I'm much less scared now.
Indeed.
You know, you're not all the same either. As much as I know you like to put on that facade, you've changed too.
I used to want to make my own reputation in the world I grew up in. Now I realize I realized a long time ago that it's not anywhere near what it's cracked up to be, and I just want to help. Make a difference, and then maybe settle down somewhere quiet, at least for a while. I'm not going to lie and say that's what I'll always want forever, but...
That's why I like you. I think we have similar goals.
After all of this, I could seriously use some boring.
I just want to help.
It's one of the things I always admired about you. Which one of our characters fears the past the most?
Ooh. I don't think me. Given what your passing tales...
Yeah.
I was going to say, given what your past entails and what my past entails, some of it does overlap, but because a lot of this there was a lot of blame on your shoulders, I feel like it might be you. I could be wrong.
You're not wrong. Helena definitely does fear, what if I mess this up? What if I prove that I'm no better than my father? Who am I to think that I can do this? How could I bring these people with me when I don't know what I'm doing? Even though, yes, I'm more prepared this time, she's just got that constant running thing of, as you're I'm not as scared now, and she's just, in her mind, terrified, but she's really good at hiding it, or at least so she thinks. On your turn, choose if you'll really live a memory of pain or a memory of strength. It was around one of the times, maybe it was my first time letting you fly the big ship. We were in the middle of nowhere, so you would have had to try really hard to hit something. I left a message to another crew member, revealing feelings that I could no longer deny.
Ooh.
Why did you destroy the message and confront me about it?
Ooh.
And I think the message that Helena left behind was for another one of the officers, one of the ones that didn't make it off the rock. So this person is long dead, but back then we were close, even though he was part of a bit of a rival organization. And maybe you noticed there was something different in how I was close with him versus some of the other people. And I left the note, maybe you see me writing it, or maybe it falls and you're able to see, and that note includes something about running away and starting over somewhere else. Just you and me against the world. We can be whatever we want.
And that letter would have occurred in the midst of our adventuring, when we're going to go take out.
Yes, it was in the original. It was in the original adventure.
Yeah.
And for context, she wasn't talking about run away right now. Just it was more of they were talking about what if, what do we want to do when this is all over? But you don't know that. She's working on the note, goes to tuck it somewhere where she knows he'll find it, and then has to go take care of something elsewhere on the ship, and she just looks at you and says, "You're doing great. I need to go take care of things. You're good up here. If you need anything.
If you think I'm okay
call
too.
for help.
Okay. Okay.
I have complete faith in you. Remember to breathe. You're going to be fine.
I can't forget to breathe. It's literally in my programming.
Yes, but you can focus on your breathing and not do the thing where you hyperventilate.
Okay. Yes.
Remember the breathing exercises we've been working on, where you breathe in for full, hold it,
and then let it out. Just start feeling the breathing coming faster. Just do that, okay?
I would love, love, love to know why this was ever something that someone decided to put in an android was anxiety. This is strange. Okay. And yeah, Daxton kind of like...
That would be the human part of your design. I'm sorry. If I could have a talk with whoever this idea that was, I would, but I think they're not around anymore.
I don't think they are either.
Or I would probably get arrested before I even got on set foot wherever they're working. You've got this. And then, so like she does the hand on the shoulder, and then reaches down and does a little like knuckle tap on her that armband. Mm-hmm. She like wraps her knuckle on it a couple of times, and then she goes to take care of whatever's going on in the back.
Yeah. Daxton tries to like get a good handle on all the controls and work through the various processes of, you know, checking things and making sure that they have control. I feel like maybe they go to press a button or flip a switch or check something on a screen or that is just like kind of like off to the side, and they nudge the controls as they're trying to like read this thing, and the entire thing just kind of like shifts a little bit, like the entire ship just kind of like jostles. Nothing to the point of like everyone's worried, but just like a little bit, enough that this note falls out of wherever it had been stashed and like leans down and looks at it, probably at first not realizing that they're not supposed to be reading this, that this isn't meant for them, just kind of like thinking that it's a, you know, like a, oh, don't press this button kind of note, like a something you would leave on the dashboard.
Or just like a reminder, hey, engineer, when you're coming here to fix this thing, be careful to not touch this wire.
Exactly, just a run-of-the-mill note left on the controls. And I think there's this like moment of confusion, and it feels a little bit like betrayal for Daxton, because it seems like for all of the connection that they've had with Helena, this feels like a slap in the face to that in this moment. And I think wanting to keep this from becoming a reality, they put it on the everything on autopilot for like a quick second and go throw the note into like the airlock.
Shove it, just accidentally drop it into the incinerator with some other trash.
Yep.
Just nope, it's gone.
It's gone now. And then goes back, turns off the autopilot, and does their best to just stay calm about it.
I think I found an idea to make it hurt even worse.
Oh, no.
The person that note was to didn't even make it to that last battle.
Ooh.
He was taken out by the enemy like days later.
Ouch.
So she hadn't had time to like have a conversation with him or anything. He's just like, oh, maybe he needs time to think about it or something. Oof.
Daxton like makes it back to like the chair and is like steadying themselves, and Rhea sticks her head in to like the cockpit. Why is ship shake?
It's dancing.
Well, and I hold up, I have 2 buckets of just like nasty water. It's like, well, now I have to mop again. Keep ship steady. And I stomp away.
Okay.
And a few minutes later, Helena is done dealing with the problem in engineering that is mostly just personality clash and people needing her to translate between them to get them to calm down and remember how to get along. This happens every couple of days. It's these 2 people, and she just comes back and is like, swear if he doesn't ask her out soon, I might just to see if I can just get them to stop fighting. They're both so oblivious. Just comes in, like, no context is saying that.
Daxton just nods.
And Helena sits down to work on some other stuff. What memory is coming to Daxton's mind? As Helena's wondering, if he had been there, would he have made it out? Or maybe part of her was like, maybe it's a good thing he didn't make it there. I don't think those 2 were maybe necessarily, like, romantically close, but they understood each other. Growing up in criminal organizations, There was that sense of camaraderie.
That makes sense. I think looking at the same objects here, Daxton has a memory of strength. And I think that this one is, there was a time where we were invincible as long as we fought side by side. I think there was a moment where, for whatever reason, everyone else was preoccupied and we needed to get transported somewhere else or get transport to someone, and Daxton was the only one able to fly at that moment, was the only one available to, and absolutely probably freaking out. And I think the fighting side by side, I don't think maybe necessarily that Helena was physically there, but maybe like through comm of some sort, you know, like talking back and forth and figuring things out together. But like the odds of Daxton being able to do whatever maneuver was asked of them, I think was only possible because Helena was talking them through it.
Maybe you had gone to like collect something from somewhere that was a little hard to get to, or like it was easy to get to from one way, but that way got cut off, so you had to come in from another direction. There were people after you, and Helena was able to see some of what was going on, and so she's just like, okay, just calm down, focus me. Okay, go left. And she was like an extra set of eyes and got you through it, and maybe you even were able to save a couple of innocent lives, like teenagers.
I love that.
Who you had found they weren't supposed to be where they were, and you found them and you're like, this is dangerous. Please escort yourself onto the ship.
Yes, I love that. What impossible odds did we face together? I think that was, kind of there, but how did we prevail?
I don't think you had any weapons on your shuttle.
Yeah.
And you had a couple of ships that were firing on you. So Helena had an outside perspective, and you were also quick at calculations, quick at like running the odds decision making. So we were able to outsmart them. Use the terrain and maybe things that they didn't see or didn't know about to remove any obstacles. Or make sure they run into obstacles.
One of the two. For sure.
And one of the locals who was standing near Helena, just watching and listening the whole time, was just staring at both of us like, I can't believe you just did that. So it was teamwork and being smart.
Yeah. There's that moment, that kind of very Star Wars moment where like Millennium Falcon out of the explosion, everybody's just like screaming and cheering kind of thing. Like I think like as everything is coming to a close after like that really tense multiple moments of instruction from you from an outside perspective, and Daxton doing their absolute best to like really keep a handle on everything, save who they could, and get through this war zone essentially. I think that in that those very last few moments, there's that adrenaline rush of really and truly feeling invincible. Between the two of us, we were able to make this happen against everything that was stacked on us, and we're gonna take on the world. And I think like once Daxton finally is able to like, whether it's land the shuttle or get it back to dock, whatever that ends up being, in that memory, they find you and are like just kind of like vibrating with excitement. We did it! We did it! Oh, I never thought.
You did it.
No, we did it. And if
you were amazing.
If we can keep doing this, there's no way we can't win. There's no way that we can't make this happen. If we can keep doing this, if you and me and whoever else, we're going to win. We're going to do this.
Helena just smiles and nods, and she lets herself believe it. She shuts off the logical part of her brain. She even manages to shut off, I think your enthusiasm shuts down the tiny little anxiety gremlin that's like, they're all going to die and it's all going to be your fault. You're going to fail. This is all going to be your fault. At least for a little bit. And I think things were going well.
Yeah. Do we wish to unearth another memory?
Ram, you're welcome to join if you would like to unearth a memory.
Stomp into the storage room. This ship's so much smaller than the last one, and you still fit as much junk in it.
This isn't even half of the junk I was able to recover. Most of it was useless and I sold it for scrap, but some of it still has value, if at least in resale. Plus, if I didn't fill it with junk, you would have anything to complain about, and then you'd just be bored.
And I cross my arms at that. Junk is junk, and I just kind of look over everything. Let's see if I notice anything. Or do one of you have to pick it?
I have a thought for introducing it. If you figure out what you want it to be, I've thought of like Daxton's like, oh, it's not all junk, and grabbing something and tossing it to you and having that memory.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes. Oh, but do I want it to be a sad memory or a good memory?
What about something with like, I was willing to die for the crew and protect what was most important thing?
Yes, and how did you convince me my life meant something? Ooh, yeah.
So what triggers that, do you think?
I think it's because we have a lot of like replacement parts for different parts of the ship. I honestly think it's like a door handle. Something really innocent and innocuous, and that's going to spark a memory for Ram.
Yeah, so Daxton's kind of like looking over everything and like sees this door handle, so to speak. I don't think they necessarily remember what this is in the moment, but they're like, oh, this is actually a useful thing. Like, this is still, like, it's a door handle. This works for sale. So they pick it up. They're like, no, there's still some useful stuff. See? And, like, tosses this door handle to you, expecting you to catch it.
I want Daxton to answer this, to be the one that answers the question.
Okay.
Just because I think that'll be fun.
Okay. But the scene that I had, Ram catches it, like, effortlessly and looks at it, and what we see is back in the day, the old ship, us having broken in again to another different government facility to steal these tracking files to try to narrow down where the enemy is, because obviously the different planetary governments knew bits and pieces of what was going on and weren't telling each other because they were paranoid of each other, and so no one would work together, so that just made everything harder. And it was literally us being chased down by the security system, their kind of mindless droids, and me slamming the door, slamming my weapon into it but pushing against it, and just feeling the attack on the other side of the door and knowing they're not going to stop. And you both are there?
Sure.
And I slam my whole body against the door, and I'm like, go, now!
If we go, that leaves you here to deal with them. This is...
We're not leaving you.
Yes.
Come for information, we have information. You go!
You don't need to die, we just need to run. We're almost there. I'm not leaving you behind.
Come on. You can make it too. Let's go.
You two are not going to like this then. And I bend the weapon in the door to kind of lock it. But then I turn around and I brace and I sprint and I scoop you both up. And it's not elegant. It's not comfortable for any of us. And I pick you up like you weigh nothing.
No.
Amazing.
And then I run us out. You are both bruised, dented.
Yes. Yes.
And it's just like, I think we make it. We barely make it. And it's very much, if Ram had not done that, you two might have made it.
Wherever we are just into safety, whether that is on our transport or outside this facility or wherever it is, but like we are finally like safe for a moment. You've taken care of that. Everyone kind of catches their breath, and Daxton looks to you. Why were you so willing to stay behind like that?
Oh, hold on, not built for sprinting. Oh,
sorry.
Is the job. Protect the captain. Complete the mission.
Is that all that matters?
It's not going to...
The job. Aren't there other things that matter too?
I'm kind of stretching my arms and kind of doing that like post run, like where you pull your leg, and I give you this very curious look. The job is important. The information was important, is important.
Could I ask you a different question then?
You just did.
Oh. I will ask you a different question. Would you trust anyone else to do your job?
No.
So what happens when you're gone? Because you thought you did your job. You protected us. You helped us get all the way down that hall. You didn't have to stay behind to head them off, and yet you were so willing to. But if you were gone, no one could have filled those shoes for you. Not to mention we really like you, but I don't think you really want to hear that.
Helena's just watching this.
There are others of my sister Karazu hireable, but no, they would not do as good a job as me. So maybe you have a small point that you have made. Maybe.
My father did hire you because you're the best, and I wouldn't trust anyone else. Plus, you have your garden on the ship.
None of you can take care of my garden. You overwater.
They look so thirsty.
We would try our best, but
They're not there. No.
you have plenty of things to live for.
You matter to us.
You do. And you know what? We should have a boring stretch after this, theoretically. Hopefully.
Boring is good.
No, boring is great. We can look at places maybe you would like to visit when this is over. Fun, interesting, beautiful places that are not full of people trying to kill me. So you don't have to worry about me, and you can also enjoy yourself. I would say go on your own and take a vacation, but I think we all know that's not going to happen.
Can enjoy myself and worry about you at the same time. But boring would be a nice change of pace after the last few weeks.
Well, it's going to take a while to get through this data anyway, so let's aim for boring and maybe look at interesting places to visit once we're done saving the known universe from whatever this thing is.
When we win.
Oh, we will.
Back. Yes. Of course, when we win. I said when we win. When we win. We'll go to Karazu. We'll go to my home planet. And I will show you the tree I was born under. I will show you my sister's city. It's beautiful. We will go. And you will see. What did you say? The safe, boring, fun, interesting place. Yes.
That sounds wonderful.
They're hot springs full of algae. Foot of algae. It feels so good on your skin.
I might have to adjust my sensors for that.
It's so slimy, you will love it.
Oh.
I'll give it a try. Okay, our pickup should be here soon. If y'all are cool with it, I have decided that we actually escaped in like a little escape pod thing, so we've just been
Floating?
waiting
Yes!
for the ship to pick us up.
Yes!
I love us floating in space. I snap out of that. Maybe it's not all junk. Only mostly.
Well, maybe junk, but it's useful junk. That's the important part.
It's useful, it's not junk, so...
I mean, all else fails, we can find a way to fire all of this junk at the enemy, and I'm pretty sure if we shoot it fast enough in space, it won't survive.
Improvised projectiles. Clever.
That would be Plan G, I think.
I only know plans A through E, so I'd be very curious to know what the other ones are if that's Plan G.
I mean, some of them are reused from other things. One actually might have come from a serial I watched while I was in hiding. It was a really good show. Apparently, they actually did decent research into making sure if any of it was actually possible.
That's impressive. Most times those shows aren't.
Either they did a lot of research or they just got really lucky and someone was able to prove that it was actually possible. It's a bit of a Hail Mary plan.
It's good to have plan from serialized fictional drama. Very good, solid plans.
No, right? Do we?
I kind of went in there. That's really funny.
I was gonna say, I think
That's really
probably
cute.
a good place. Yeah.
I like it.
So,
Yeah.
when we're ready to let go of the past, the one who revealed the most during their flashback chooses a revelation.
Well, we know Helena lost someone very close to them before even the disaster happened, and that's pretty intense. And we know Ram has weird self-value issues. But that's just part of the package.
That's par for the course.
That's par for the course when you are a bodyguard. That's who you are. And Dax is just the most precious being.
Sweet baby angel.
So I think it might be
Precious.
it's one of y'all.
I think it's going to be our captain, truly.
Yes, I think it's the captain.
Okay. I think I know what the revelation is going to be. It seems like memories are frozen in time, but they suddenly crack under the pressure of the present. We both reveal something, or we all reveal something that changes the context of our memories.
I have two. Either something tied to those memories, maybe the person you lost, or... No. Okay, I got it. No, I was gonna say something from those memories made us realize we were being tracked.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like, in the past, like, we thought we were being so sneaky and we were tailing them and we were catching up to them, but like they knew about it.
I have something.
Ooh.
I have something for mine.
Okay.
Helena's just like, I was just thinking about what happened with Garrett. There was something I didn't realize until much, much later. The enemy always seemed to know exactly where we were, as well as the other syndicate was dogging our steps until the refinery incident that Garrett didn't survive. After that, the syndicate didn't know where to find us anymore. I don't know if he was sending messages or he was being unwittingly tracked, but it seems perhaps he couldn't quite let go of those old family ties.
I don't know if I particularly like the idea of having a mole then. I'd much rather think of it as an unintentional tracking or something he was forced to do under duress, right?
He was the one who his uncle was the head of that jewel smuggling cartel. The one that was trying to muscle in on some of my father's territories. His father sent him to be part of this whole thing to sort of spy on us and give him a leg up, but he always talked about how he didn't quite want to do that and wanted to live outside of that. And I tried to encourage him to live and step outside of that and to choose for himself, but I guess in the end, old habits are hard to break.
As Ram's trying to, place that memory, trying to figure out, right, okay, that
Which one
person.
was Garrett?
Right. I think Daxton just very quietly, so quiet that, if the two of you weren't close, no one would have heard it. The one you were gonna run away with.
No, I talked to him about maybe after we were talking about what we would do when the job was over. I was trying to encourage him to get away from his family. His father's a little more controlling than mine, or at least in a different way. What made you think I was planning on running away with him?
You left a note. I threw it in the airlock.
Helena stops to think about that last note. It wasn't the last note that she wrote, it's just the one she never really got a response to, and she's like, oh. If I'm remembering what I actually wrote, I do see how it would have read like that. There was more to the story, though, but I see how it would have read like that. We weren't going to run away together.
I was gonna say, I guess it didn't matter if we think that he betrayed us, or maybe it's for the better.
And with Garrett, with family, yes. Garrett, yes. Remember, now, The memories, if I don't think on them, they settle very low. It takes time to pull them back up. Garrett, before Refinery, Garrett is one with cousin who works for government who tells us how to get into the facility. I always wondered how security got tricked so quickly.
It was more intense than it should have been, too, for that level of an outpost. I did my research. I knew I couldn't have missed that many mechs.
Helena can tell Daxton's feeling guilty, I think.
It's somewhere between guilty and not relieved, but like a little bit of, well, if he turned out to not be the best, maybe it's all okay.
Yeah, Helena clocks that, and I picture we're just sitting on the floor at this point, or something. She just reaches over and, like, puts her hand over where that bracer is. Just like a gentle touch, isn't openly acknowledging, but is trying to give you the signal of, it's okay, you're okay.
I think they settle a little bit.
She knows you will need to talk about this later, if only to make you feel better.
Garrett.
It's like, that's a conversation that'll happen later.
Garrett. So smarmy. Always hanging around, doing nothing, talking. But this is a long time ago. If Garrett sells us out to other syndicate, it's done. If Garrett did not know, it's still done.
At least he wasn't there when we had to do that emergency rescue from the... You remember that planet we stopped on where they found a way to basically expel the enemy? It didn't work for very long. The enemy learned after that, but it was, Daxton, it's where you did that rescue.
Oh, right. That was a good day.
He was there for the original planning of your supply run, but he wasn't there when you came back.
No, I guess he wasn't.
And I think maybe he knew you suspected something. The refinery was only, 2-3 days after that?
Yeah?
I like to think I've become a better judge of people, but there's a reason I brought the 3 of you jesters in the ship to where I'm pretty sure Johan is. I'm sure someone's flying this ship, probably.
Who's flying the ship?
We need to make a point here the next time we have Ian to do a smash cut.
Helena gives Daxton's arm a little, gentle, comforting squeeze.
There's many reasons. You were the first that I asked to join me on this insane mission. That and the fact I knew she was going to punch me in the face, which I'm still paranoid that you haven't.
I go to punch you, but I pull the punch. I don't actually touch you. I just, do it to make you flinch.
You put together a good team. You always did.
And when mission is over, we can still go to Karazu!
Yes!
We will go see the tree I am born under. We will go see my sister, see my nieces. So many nieces. Oh, I've never seen them. It will be good.
It's going to be wonderful. We can visit all sorts of places. I will need to stop by a friend's to pick up new identity papers to officially disappear and never be found by my father again, hopefully. It's a pain in the butt trying to keep him from finding me, but I think I finally found someone who can forge something that'll work. Maybe. I don't know.
And Ram's just waxing about Karazu.
I think there's a moment where Daxton is listening, but kind of just quietly and almost sadly removes himself from the storage room and goes to do something else. I think the talk of family is a very sad point for them in a lot of ways. So I think after just all of your excitement, I think they just kind of step away, take a moment to themselves and remove themselves from the scene.
Helena notices, but she does let you go and stays listening to Ram mostly because she's like, Even if I leave, she's gonna follow me.
This and farming are like the only things Ram gets really worked up about, is like how great her home planet is and farm facts.
I love it.
Let's be real. Helena can like recite word for word most of what you're talking through right now, but she's
It's the same.
just like, let's just stay here in the cargo hold. You'll wear out a little bit sooner because the lights aren't as bright in here. But as this scene wraps up, Zan,
Okay.
white or black for yours?
Black. Oh no. I can't remember if that's good or bad. That's bad. That's bad.
They're
Why
both
do I
bad.
keep thinking that bad? They're both.
The two members involved in the confrontation each draw a card.
Oh. Okay, so
2 cards are going into the enemy's deck. The player briefly describes a glimpse of the enemy and how they become more terrifying.
oh boy. Okay, because of our revelation there, I kind of wonder if we don't get a glimpse of, in some way, part of Garrett's consciousness being absorbed into the kind of consciousness of this, or maybe part of, probably not like his actual body at that point, because like that was kind of like a different scenario, I feel, but like definitely part of his consciousness being like absorbed in like that information about like the tracking, and if there was any kind of like false information, and like all of those little details about what we were doing originally are then kind of like brought into that.
What if the enemy got to him while he was still in the refinery?
Could
so
be.
we think he died, but he didn't die. Like, well, let's be real. Garrett's dead, but I think maybe the enemy was able to take over just before.
I'm imagining it's like the whispering shared consciousness of it, and it's just like Garrett, 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 and then it's like Garrett, like it remembers who he is and now has his information.
Yes.
I think that happens in the mind of it because after our last encounter with the enemy, a small, like little droplet of the enemy smuggled itself onto the ship through McCain. It wasn't big enough at that point to cause any harm, but now there's like this tiny little, like, when you like big raindrop size almost.
And it's listening.
Yeah, none of us noticed this, what looks like a little drop of water just kind of sitting in the cargo hold, surrounded by all of our past records and stuff, and listening to us reminisce.
Great.
I love that. I love that.
And we don't know.
I love it for us.
Ugh.
Go team.
So great.
Thanks, I hate it. Yuck, I love it.
Go team. Well, when
Cat butt.
cat butt.
Widget.
That's a big boy.
Oh, he's a big boy. He's a
That's a
he's
big
a
boy.
big boy.
That's a whole grown man.
He is 14
That is a
pounds
substantial
and
cat.
not
Gosh.
technically overweight.
Yes.
Big boy.